D-Day has arrived. Silver Squeeze 2.0 is upon us. May Day, May 1st. The Silver Massacre, 10-year anniversary of the rigged price manipulation smackdown back from 2011. And I think it's time that sound money silver investors get a little payback. So I just want to take a little time to give my perspective on the so-called silver squeeze. And this was kind of started by Craig Hemke at TF Metals. Of course, he works closely with Sprott, and he had the idea, and of course, it has the backing and blessing of the new group Wall Street Silver, which I can't speak highly enough. I can't give enough praise to that group, what they've done. There's been no group that's done as much as they have in so little time. It's kind of like the Battle of Britain during World War II. Like never before have so few sacrificed so much to save so many. Something like that. But no, really, they've made a huge change, and I think we have great power in this movement. But let's go over it. And the reason I wanted to make this video, I do see a lot of negativity. Admittedly, it's usually the same people who have been kind of downers on the white metal lately. You see it's the channels that have been skeptics of whether silver can even go up at all. The people who want to buy silver under $20, they apparently don't believe silver can ever go up. But there's some negativity out there, so just wanted to touch on it a little bit here. And so I really think that a small group like Wall Street Silver, they currently have 65,000 members, which is absolutely nothing. I mean, this is a global organization. I mean, even if you broke it down by states, what would it be like? You're talking almost 1,000 people in each state. It's bonkers how few people are actually in that Reddit group. But I did the math earlier, and I wish I wrote these numbers down. But if everybody on there bought 100 ounces of silver, which is kind of the goal for the May Day Massacre, I think it was like, what was it? I think it was around 200 metric tons of silver that they were going to take off the market. And you got to understand, moves like that, they do have impact. And again, I think a small group like that, making whatever purchases you can, they can have a huge impact. And the biggest example was at the end of January, after the whole Wall Street bets, we literally cleared out all the major bullion dealers online. Within like 3 days, they were almost all completely out of stock. And that just goes to show how absolutely tiny the silver market is, because there was barely any advertising on that whatsoever. There was simply whispers in the air that Wall Street bets some fraction of them may be looking at SLV and AG, the First Majestic stock, as possible targets, and that was all it took to absolutely wipe out the available physical inventories. And that's what it takes. I mean, we have to accumulate all the available metal to finally overcome the blatant manipulation. Because that's the whole crux of it, is that people are complaining about the premiums. Well, my opinion, my personal opinion, I think silver is incredibly undervalued. So if you're complaining about paying $32 because you don't want to pay an $8 premium or whatever it was over the fake paper spot price, well, that's too bad. I mean, silver should be at least $30. Silver should be $40 or $50 by now. Little old copper, like the most industrial, I won't say useless, but it's not really a monetary metal, it's already back at its all-time highs. Silver would have to double from its current price to reach its 2011 or 1980 highs again. Copper's already there. So, I mean, it's really incredible. And but it's the most manipulated market in the world. You have to understand what you're up against, and you can't be naive about it. It's these are all the big banks, the central banks. Those are literally the people who rig this market, and nobody's going to save you. The CFTC is not going to save you. The SEC is not going to save you. They're all complicit. They don't care about Main Street. So, buying silver, I think, is voting your own personal opinion. It's taking a stand against all the corruption we see in the world, because that's another part of it. Is that the underlying unit of our society is money. It's half of every transaction, and we're currently using a fake dollar. So we have a corrupt measure. It's like a yardstick that just goes in and out. It has no actual length, so you can't really measure anything. So we have this corrupt circle of degradation, and it allows all the crime to occur. And you see, ever since we went off the gold standard, you have this small group of elites that are making more and more money, getting richer and richer, while the middle class, the society, the main populations of almost every country in the world are being absolutely gutted, while this tiny elite is just sucking up all the wealth. And they're doing it through the central banks. They're doing it through the fake money. And you can vote against that by buying physical silver. And I don't think crypto won't do it. Bitcoin could go to $1 million. It wouldn't make any difference whatsoever. But if we actually break the gold and the silver markets, game over. That is literally the Achilles heel. Politicians, they will have to respond. They're not going to be able to confiscate your gold and silver if we take a stand together. That's the other thing I want to circle back to, is that Wall Street Silver, they're like the lobbyist group we've never had. Because sometimes, when there's crime being perpetrated and people are trying to take away your rights, you need some kind of unified body, some lobby, some 800-pound gorilla in the room to stand up for your rights. And that's what Wall Street Silver is. Like I said, it's a decentralized online group, community, North America, Europe, but it's really global. And they want to stand up for gold and silver, which unfortunately has been rigged. I mean, you can't argue the fact. It happens the same time every day, right before the markets open, right when London opens, they smack it down. None of the other markets will even move. The dollar will be completely flat, stocks will be completely flat, and then all of a sudden they'll dump all this paper onto the market, which they can print ad infinitum, and totally wipe out the price. So if you're one of those people who want spot to go back down so you can buy cheap silver, I got news for you. They can keep this game going for 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years. They don't want you to win. Okay, so sometimes you actually have to take a stand if you ever want to break that manipulation, because they do have a lot of power. But like I said, a lot of it is based on perception. And if we can change that perception by, breaking one of these physical markets, which I know a lot of people are skeptical about, but the numbers are simple math. There's not enough silver on the face of the earth for every human to hardly get 1 ounce. Now, it's very hard to actually put a hard number on how much silver exists on planet Earth. I think 7 billion ounces might be reasonable, so maybe there's 1 ounce. But, if you look on groups like Wall Street Silver, a lot of the people have at least 25 ounces, a lot have 50, 100. There's uncountable numbers that have 1,000 ounces. So, and it's just crazy how much fake money is in the system. I was looking on Wall Street Silver today. There's a number of brokers who are saying their clients were dumping $1 or $2 million into PSLV. And of course, PSLV, they're taking those 1,000-ounce bars off the market. So believe you and me, we can do this. We can gobble up enough physical silver to break the manipulation. And I think people, their heads are going to spin when they see how high silver can really go. But, we can't relent and you can't stop, because it's more than, they say the people, the pumpers that are trying to push the the silver squeeze 2.0 are just trying to profit off of it. I mean, that's nice. That's just going to be an added bonus if we're making some money off your investment. But to me, it's more about finding out what the fair, honest value of precious metals really is, because it should be, multiple times higher. Okay, and if you're concerned with the problems in society, if it's starting to feel like we're living in a bizarro world where everything's upside down, where athletes are making $50 million a year, politicians are going in and making $30 million in 10 years, and it seems a little bit inexplicable. Like, how could this function? Why are all the government employees making, twice as much money as the private sector? How can we afford all these huge deficits? And well, it's very simple. The reason that these crimes are growing exponentially upon society is because we're running on fake money. So to me, it's a political statement to bring back sound money, and then you'll end the circle of corruption, and you'll bring honesty back to society in general. So it's more than just making a profit, and I think we really can make a difference. And because the Silver Squeeze 2.0 is being so heavily advertised, I think it could be big. It should be, on paper, bigger than the last one, which was the end of January, when we wiped out all the markets. That forum has grown. The social media spreading has grown. Big investors have jumped along. I mean, people like Robert Kiyosaki, Sprott, Willem Middelkoop. I mean, they're all doubling down, putting in their own money. Everybody's putting in their own money. We all want to see this movement flourish. And it's not going to end. Even if we make a small dent, we're all in it for the long term. But I'm just telling you, we could knock them out pretty quick. The ball, it's like a snowball rolling down a mountain. It could start happening quickly. And I guess the other comparison, there's a lot of naysayers. Well, during the American Revolution, it was a very small fraction. They actually organized to put up a resistance. And I've heard numbers 3 to 5% of the patriots that got together. That was enough to shake things up and eventually win the Revolutionary War. So, even amongst stackers, it only takes a small group of determined individuals to make this happen. And like I said, the numbers are on our side. For honest money, some might call it God's money, to persevere. And that's why I back it. I think it's a great movement. I think Wall Street Silver has had a huge impact, and I support them 100%. Just take a quick look at some of these new pickups. I got one of these a little while back. Let's take off my other gloves so I can control the camera. I'll stop talking while I lose my voice here. These are pretty nice. I like the matte finish. Yeah, pretty nice, pretty nice. They were a little pricey. I paid around $36 each. I got 3 of those. And I got a bunch of these Robin Hoods. Now, the Royal Mint, they're not known for having the most amazing quality, but a lot of people were complaining that there is, I guess, abrasion, scratches, milk spotting. Mine were pretty decent. I mean, some of them do have minute flaws, but, they're bullion coins. It's a pretty interesting design. I like it. Like I said, I think most of them are at least in pretty decent condition. And it is interesting, the background, I don't know if we can see, very fine pattern. And some of the pictures online look like a bigger size checkerboard, but very fine digital kind of like mesh in the background. It's not the greatest, but not bad, not bad. Got one of these. These are nice. This is a 2021, I think. Like those. I haven't had one of these yet. It's not the Perth Mint. I think it's the Royal Australian Mint. And a pretty cool coin. What else? Got a couple of these. These are pretty nice. I really like it. And that background, I don't know how they do it. It almost looks holographic at certain angles. Very nice. And I got a bunch of these, 16 of these. And these were all looking pretty perfect, so they did a good job on these. I heard they just came out with a new Queen's Beast showing all of them, but I'm not sure if they're going to have a regular BU bullion version. That would be a huge mistake. And if they don't, I bet it's probably because they're having trouble sourcing silver at the Royal Mint. But anyways, we're at 15 minutes. I'll let y'all go. If you can afford some, go out, buy a little silver May 1st. And believe me, I think we can really change the world by restoring the gold and silver's place as honest money. It could take some time. I'm in it for the long haul, but keep an eye on it. All right, have a good weekend, guys.